Hello, hello, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cinderella phenomenon. So, we had a small dance with Rod, which was awkward, and we have yet to complete the first good deed, and it's been a while since we've been made into a maid. So, made into a maid, there we go. What am I, maid of time? These are my thoughts as I head back to my sleeping quarters after dinner that night. Emmeline excused me long ago, insisting that I go to my own room before she went to hers. I'm walking down the hallway when I notice Rod heading down a familiar path. I follow after him. Are you going to the marchen? Rod jumps and turns around. Ah! The surprise in his face quickly fades into annoyance. Don't do that again. And no, not today. Since I came here, I've found out that Rod occasionally sneaks out of the palace at night through the secret passageway to go to the marchen. Even now, I am still confused as to why he goes there. He said before that he had given up on breaking his curse, which makes me wonder why he still visits. It also makes me wonder why he would refuse to break his own curse in the first place. Is he okay with being the way he is, or is his curse just really difficult to break? Why were you cursed, Rod? Because this is the topic I want to start the night off with. I'm not answering that question. Why? I cannot help you break your curse if you refuse to tell me anything. I told you before that I do not need your help. But I chose you as my partner. You help me and I help you. That's this thing. But I didn't choose you! How often do we have to go over this argument? It is highly likely that breaking Rod's curse will also count as a good deed, so... Rod scowls at me and crosses his arms. I'm afraid that this isn't how this works at all. The sound of footsteps keeps me from coming back with a retort. We both turn to see Sir Alcaster approaching us. Prince Rod, good evening. Good evening, Sir Alcaster. Sir Alcaster turns to me and raises an eyebrow. Shouldn't you be attending to Princess Emmeline? Rod silences me with a look. He moves to stand in front of me, shielding me from Sir Alcaster's gaze. We were just about to go to her. Let's go, Lucette. Rod strides away and I quickly curtsy to Sir Alcaster before following after Rod. I can still feel Sir Alcaster's eyes on my back as I walk away. I try my best to suppress a shudder. Rod and I walk through the hallway in silence. We both stop in our tracks when we hear the clattering of silverware. I look around and realize that the sound has come from behind a set of doors that is slightly open. The dining hall? Oh no! That's Emmeline's voice. We do not see Emmeline when we enter the room, but there is a dizzying array of cutlery set out on the table. Emmeline? Emmeline surprises us both by crawling out from beneath the table. She flashes us an embarrassed smile as she gets to her feet, holding several forks and knives in her hands. What are you doing here? You should be getting ready for bed.
Sorry.
I eye the silverware on the table.
I thought I could practice before I sleep today.
It has already been an incredibly long day for her, and she is still doing this? I watch as Emmeline puts the cutlery back onto the table in the wrong places. You need to rest, Em.
I will after I practice the placement one more time.
She smiles at him before returning to the table.
I don't know why a person would need so much cutlery. 1 fork, 1 spoon, and 1 knife should be more than enough for any meal. And all these glasses. If I recall correctly, this one is for water, and this one is for red wine, and this one is for white wine.
That flute is for champagne. The other is for sherry.
Oh, right. But there are 2 more.
The other is for juice, and the other glass is for dessert wine. The dessert wine glass will only be used during the dessert course, and the juice glass is only used when the juice is being served as a course. Otherwise, it is placed next to the water goblet.
I see.
I see Rod staring at me out of the corner of his eyes. His lips twitch before he turns back to his sister. It looked like he was about to smile.
Then what are these for?
Emmeline points out the group of forks in front of her. You use those every day, Your Highness. You should know the answer. Emmeline points at them as she rattles off names.
A dinner fork? Fish fork? Salad?
Correct.
You know so much about etiquette, too. You're really incredible, Lucette. You make a better noblewoman than I do.
Even if I told her I was a noble, it's not as if she would believe me. I just read a lot about all these things.
You read and know enough to put them into practice? That's amazing! Especially since you haven't even been with us so long. Right, Rod?
Rod shrugs. He does not, much to my surprise, disagree.
Perhaps you should be my teacher, Lucette. I can learn so quickly from you.
Emmeline quickly straightens out the cutlery. Now that I think about it, I have come to realize that Emmeline is much more than she appeared to be. It is probably because I am being forced to spend so much time with her as her maid. She is different. She is flawed, and not as conceited and more humble than I had originally thought. Maybe I should try lending her a hand. I may not be one of your tutors, but if you need help with your lessons, just ask me and I will do what I can for you. Lucette? I glance at Rod, who is once again wearing that expression of surprise. I shift my attention to Emmeline once again. You only have 1 month left to prepare, and as your personal maid, I feel it my responsibility to help you in whatever ways I can.
Lucette!
Emmeline wipes her eyes with the back of her hand, and that's when I notice something glistening on her cheeks.
Is she crying again? You are extremely kind, Lucette. Thank you. I will definitely take you up on that offer.
I'm still looking at Emmeline when I catch a faint glow coming from the pendant on my chest. What just happened?
Oh, what a pretty necklace you have, Lucette.
Thank you.
Anyway, for now, I think the both of us would benefit from some sleep.
After escorting Emmeline back to her room, I walk out into the hallway in a daze. What was that light? It seems like you actually managed to obtain your first good deed. What? I didn't know he was still there. Whoa, surprised me. I look down at my pendant, astonished at what I see. Da 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 da! A piece of the glass slipper? I gingerly touch the new piece that is hanging next to my existing glass slipper pendant. It is real! You're not too bad after all. Did he just compliment me? What is happening? Is the world ending? What? Rod turns away. Nothing. He walks away, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Chapter 5. Secrets. Secrets. We get to know some secrets. Secrets.
Good morning, Your Highness. Would you like to play with us? You want to play with me? Yeah, come play with us. We'll all have lots of fun. Well, please, just for a little while. Maybe I can.
Lucette, what are you doing here in front of the gates?
Mother. Good morning, Your Majesty. We were just wondering if the princess wants to come play with us.
No, Princess Lucette does not want to play with you.
But Mother, I do.
Enough idle chatter. We must go. It is almost time for your dance lessons.
But...
Lucette, do not make me repeat myself.
Yes, Mother.
Every time a memory of her mother comes up, I'm just like, I'm going to strangle this woman. I'm going to strangle her. Just, if she wasn't already dead. It is still dawn when I wake up. As much as I want to continue sleeping, I have no choice but to get up and prepare for the day. The last thing I need is an annoying lecture from the head maid. Eesh. I have almost become accustomed to waking up this early, even if I do not enjoy it. As soon as my preparations are made, I begin to make my way toward Emmeline's room. She should wake early. I am about halfway there when I hear familiar voices. Standing far ahead of me are Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros. What are you talking about, Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros? What's up? Are you sure this is going to work? Have a little faith in me, my friend. Friends? We're not friends. Sir Alcaster narrows his eyes and then turns abruptly to look at me. Ah, Miss Lucette, was it? Sir Mithros. Sir Alcaster. Have you been eavesdropping, child? He has no reason to be angry at me. If they were talking about something confidential, they should not have been openly talking about it in the hallway. Have you been eavesdropping on me, child? Like that SpongeBob meme. I'm on my way to Princess Emmeline's room, sir. That is why I am here. I coolly look at Sir Alcaster, who looks like he is about to pop a vein. I cannot help but feel satisfied at his reaction. In just a few steps, he is suddenly looming over me. I've never seen Sir Alcaster look so angry before. What is going on? Rod is now walking toward us with a scowl on his face. Sir Alcaster notices this and quickly steps back. There was just a little misunderstanding, Your Highness. Rod glances at me, his eyes narrowing. Great, I'm sure he's gonna blame me for this too, even though I did nothing! Oh, he's defending her! Much to my surprise, Rod puts himself between me and Sir Alcaster. Are you alright, Lucette? Is he worried about me? I slowly nod. Rod turns back to Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros. If you don't have any business with Lucette, I will be taking her with me. Emmeline is already waiting for her. Sir Alcaster stares at me for a few moments before bowing down to Rod. Of course, Your Highness. Thank you. Rod turns to me again, his expression solemn. Shall we? He walks off before waiting for my reply. I look back at Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros one last time before chasing after him. The both of us spend the next few minutes walking in silence. Rod has not said a thing since my encounter with Sir Mithros and Sir Alcaster. Are you okay? What? He already asked me that before. Is he really that worried? Nah, I'm fine. I'm surprised by the look on Rod's face at my response. His expression is soft, so unlike his usual scowl.
Rod here is pretty worried about you, Princess!
Rod glares at Sebby, his cheeks tinged pink. Sebby chuckles.
Sorry, Rod, your thoughts ring so loudly in your mind I can't help but say them aloud!
This is not the first time Sebby has told me about what Rod is thinking. Rod reaches out and pinches Sebby's face, his scowl returning.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay? But next time try not to think too loudly.
You said that Emmeline was waiting for me. I didn't expect her to be up so early. Where is she? I lied. What? He lied to help me out of that situation? Yes. Why? Are you helping me? Because you badgered him into helping you. You just inserted yourself into the palace and were like, help me! And he's like, fine. So don't be surprised when he actually starts helping you. Because while you're here, you're my responsibility. I may loathe the role, but I will still uphold it. Besides, you don't need a reason to help someone in need. Help someone in need. I remember Parfait and Delora telling me before, but that being good often involves helping others who are in need. Now that I've helped you, I'll be taking my leave now. I have fencing lessons to attend. Rod starts to walk off, but then stops and turns back to me. Don't get yourself into more trouble. I won't be there all the time to save you. I glare at him and cross my arms. I am not some damsel in distress, Your Highness. I do not need your help. Clearly. Rod snorts before turning away from me and walking away. Later that day, I watch Emmeline finish her etiquette lessons. I can tell that the teacher is impressed with her progress. Emmeline is able to correctly name all the glasses and cutlery. She is not so slow a learner. I had come here earlier in the day to better teach Emmeline about proper dining etiquette. It turns out that my lesson was valuable. You have shown great improvement, Your Highness. I am glad that you have been diligent with your studies. No doubt you'll be ready for the ball soon. Emmeline smiles, her cheeks turning pink.
Thank you. I wouldn't have done it without the help of a friend.
Emmeline glances at me briefly and smiles gently.
I really owe her a lot.
That is wonderful. I'm so glad you have such a dedicated friend, Your Highness. Friend? Is that really what I am to her? But princesses do not have maids as friends. A royal does not mingle with commoners, especially not with servants. Mother told me that before. Emmeline does not treat me as a maid, but she cannot possibly think of me as a friend. Except she does. After the teacher gives Emmeline several books to study for the next session, she ends the lesson and excuses herself. Emmeline approaches me and grasps my hands.
Thank you so much, Lucette. I wouldn't have passed without your help.
All I did was repeat the things your teacher taught you.
But you're different!
I raise an eyebrow at her. Different?
I tend to get nervous in my lessons. My teachers are strict and intimidating. I cave beneath the pressure. But with you, well, I feel more comfortable around you. It's probably because we're almost the same age and your lessons feel more casual. So thank you. I'm very grateful to you.
She looks down at the ground shyly.
I hope it's all right that we're friends.
I furrow my eyebrows at her. Why would you even want to be friends with a maid? You're supposed to be making friends with the nobles, not the servants. Emmeline frowns, and I can feel her deflate. She walks toward the window and sighs.
I tried. They may not say anything, but I can feel them silently judging me. I wasn't born a princess, and I feel that they judge everything that I do. They think that I smile too much, that I'm not regal enough. They feel that I'm too clumsy or too cheerful.
Well, Emmeline definitely does not act like a noble. I cannot say that I blame the nobles for being skeptical of her.
Being with them suffocates me. I do my best to act like a princess, but the way they all look at me, it's as if they're waiting for me to make a mistake. Then they'll all have an excuse to jeer at me. Every girl dreams of becoming a princess, and yet this is not my dream. I really just miss being a normal girl. I miss my freedom.
I look at her, thoughtful. I think I can understand what Emmeline is feeling. Just like me, she was thrown into a world she was not ready to be a part of. Right now, we have no choice but to fit in. She never wanted my title in the first place, yet I accused her of stealing it. Have you told your mother how you feel? Emmeline shakes her head.
No, not the king either. I don't want them to think that I'm ungrateful. That's why I'm trying my best to become accustomed to all this.
I cross my arms. But you are not happy.
I'm not. Everyone just assumes that I'm happy because I smile a lot.
She barely opens up to anyone, and yet she opened up to me. Had I been given the choice before I was cursed, I would have never listened to her. You should tell them how you feel rather than just keep it to yourself. Otherwise, the stress will continue to accumulate on your shoulders.
I wish I could be more honest with them. I really do. I envy you for being able to speak your mind.
She envies me? Emmeline takes a deep breath and sighs. The frown fades with the sigh and is quickly replaced by a fragile smile.
I'm sorry for ranting to you like that. I must have bored you with my story.
I used to get so annoyed with her, but now that I've seen this side of her, I suppose she's not as terrible as I'd first thought.
Oh, I remember that Mother wanted to see me after my lessons today.
Allow me to escort you to the Queen, then.
Thank you.
And the cutscene. Days pass without any real conflict. I run into Sir Alcaster again in the hallways, but his eyes pass over me as if I am something to be ignored because I am a palace servant. Well, that was the wrong place to click. Delora, who had been ignoring me as she had been busy with other priorities, returned to the Marchen yesterday to discuss something important with Parfait. It is not as if she has been any help since she came here. She mostly stays in my room while I run around doing errands for Emmeline and taking on other chores as they are handed to me. Right now, I'm tired. I'm sorry. Right now, I'm headed to the palace gates as I hurry to meet Emmeline. She is going out to town to meet Viorica again, and I was told to meet her here. Lucette! Fritz! Yay! Good. I turn around to see Fritz walking in my direction. Ever since I told him to refer to me by name, he has been stumbling over not using my title. I rarely see him, but when I do, we do not have much time to discuss anything. Can I help you with anything, Fritz? It's been a while. Have you managed to complete one of your good deeds? Days after I had originally run into Fritz, I managed to have a quick conversation with him regarding my curse. It has been a long time since that conversation happened. Recently, I have barely seen Fritz. I hear rumors that he has been reassigned somewhere outside the palace. I show him my pendant and point at the piece of the second glass slipper. I managed to get one several days ago. Lucette, that's wonderful! I knew that you could get one. Only 2 more and then I can break this curse. Ah, Fritz, Miss Lucette. I did not think the 2 of you were acquainted. We both turn our heads at the same time when Mithros suddenly appears from around the corner, the usual smile on his lips. Sir Mithros! Hey, how much of that did you hear? Fritz, I believe Sir Alcaster is looking for you. Right, sorry. Lucette, I must take my leave now. Of course. Fritz bows to Sir Mithros before walking off, leaving me alone with Sir Mithros. Mithros does not say anything, but continues to smile at me. His staring makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable. Is there something on my face? Excuse me. I curtsy and start to walk off when Sir Mithros calls my name. Lucette. Yes? I just wanted to thank you for your hard work and dedication to our princess. I look at him, puzzled by his sudden gratitude. Don't worry, everything will soon be remedied. Excuse me? My apologies. I did not mean to keep you. He completely ignores my question. He dips his head slightly before turning and walking away, the smile still on his face. What was all that about? And perhaps we'll find out in the next episode, so thank you all for watching and I'll catch you then, so bye bye!